All right. So this is Lobo with another Pinche podcast. This is series two for my podcast, and it's going to be on a model's view. And the first model we have up today is Ruthie Skye. How you
Oh,
doing, Ruthie?
hi. So I'm Ruthie Skye. I've been modeling for about 16 years, off and on, not consecutively. You can
Mm.
find me at Ruthie, Ruthie underscore 916 for more information, I guess. I don't know.
Well, obviously, just to follow you and support your Instagram and all your other pages. I put her information right here on the bottom of the screen.
Oh, look how lovely.
Nice, huh? So we'll start off with how many shows do you usually do a year, if or do you have like a goal?
I don't have a cap. I don't have a limit of how many shows I
Mm.
do. I try to do about maybe 6 to 8 a year. That's like as many as I've done so far, but I don't have a cap. It's whoever decides to hire me for an event.
All right. And so since you've been modeling, and I want to just kind of get into this couple questions before we get into our main topic, but since you've been modeling, has there been any car shows that really stuck out for you? Any real positive, or like maybe like one thing that happened that you're really like proud of, or just like a show that really like you really liked, like one
Mhm.
just one example.
Things that stick out for me is being able to hold newborn babies and having being the first model to take pictures with them. That like sticks out to me. That makes me feel good.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
awesome.
that I'm introducing the new generation, like like Simba.
Well, that just means that people are comfortable with you being a model at a show, right? I mean, at the
Yeah,
end of the
you
day,
can
they're
say that.
supportive of what you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they definitely support.
that's good. So out of so since that's a positive thing, what's one negative experience or bad experience that you're willing to say, talk about that you've had to deal with in your modeling, career?
Just one though, because there's been a couple.
Well, we'll just start off with one. I mean, it
Okay,
depends.
so one, gosh, I would say the hardest thing for me as a model, the thing that I don't like the most of being a model is having certain photographers tell you what you need to do in order to take pictures.
Hmm.
Say that would be a terrible experience for me.
And you think that that's what more of not letting you have creative creative freedom for for the things that you want to do, or is it just like they're trying to tell you like you're doing things wrong?
They're trying to basically control you
Mhm.
and tell you what to wear and what to do. And you being new to the game is like thinking that those are the things you have to do in order to get there, if you could say it like that. So
Okay.
I guess being uneducated, not being
Mhm.
educated before entering the business.
And I want to follow up that with that question later because I actually have it on my list of questions, and it's going to follow up with some things, and we'll come back to this. And so with that said, well, what you can and cannot do, or what a photographer is trying to push you to do, and stuff like that.
Right.
Right now, just recently in the this last year, we've had we have some people that are pressuring some of the promoters to regulate what the models are wearing, and at the shows. And so, what is your opinion about that? I mean,
I heard about
mhm,
it. It definitely circulated my way, and I had mixed feelings about it. Really,
mm,
I had pros and cons. My pros is like, okay, I get that they want to make it a clean show,
mm,
for kids, for grandmothers, for mothers. Like, I understand the direction that they're trying to take it.
mm,
But at the same time, I disagree with it too, because I feel like now we're placing uniformity at the shows.
yeah.
Now we're saying basically saying what people should and shouldn't wear to shows, because to me it's like, I get that a certain woman shouldn't dress a certain way to the show, but the lowrider community has always been open. The lowrider
Mm,
community started with females. As a matter of fact, I think the sales went. the sales rocket once they started adding females in bikinis and lingeries on the magazine. So why change if it's always been that way? And so for me, I feel like it's a bit high school for you to try to place a dress code as to what people should or shouldn't wear at the shows. In regards to like the kids attending the shows, that's our responsibility as a parent to educate our kids, to let them know what's good, what's wrong, to
Mhm.
let them know that these are models. Some models dress this way, some models dress that way. You know, you educate your kids. You don't, you can't, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't isolate your kids from what's from the inevitable, you know?
Yes.
Like you can't stop your kids from googling stuff. You can't stop your kids from looking at their friends' stuff. You can't
Mhm.
stop your kids from walking in the middle of the street and seeing stuff. You can't close your eyes. You can't close your children's eyes when you go to the pool and see women in bikinis too. Like you really have to
Yeah.
just educate them as parents. So I have
Mhm.
mixed feelings. I get where they're going with that, and I don't agree with it. I understand why they're trying to regulate and set the standards as to what women should look like.
Mhm.
But to me, who sets the standards for that? Because to me, I don't feel like we should be educating our kids to dress like little boys either. That's not raising our kids. That's not raising our girls to be girls. You know,
Mhm.
like I could sit here and say a lot about what we shouldn't do or what we should do as a
Yeah.
community. But I feel that that's what makes us diverse as a community. We have different looks. We're coming as we are. We don't have to dress a certain way, talk a certain way in order to be a part of a community. Because it's starting to be, if they're going to start regulating, it's going to become a cult, and that's not good. Because we go back, we're reverting back to gangs, you know. And it's just, yeah, there's just so much. I have so much mixed emotions about it. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to jump on the topic because I
Mhm.
know like you'll get a lot of backlash and people start coming for me because of my opinion, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that.
Well, I mean, that's the whole reason why I wanted to do this subject for a podcast, because I just want to hear from the woman's view, the model's view, and it's just an honest opinion, whether you agree with it or not. Honestly, I don't have a preference. I just want to hear what the the people that they're actually trying to say, are being exploited. And with that, now, and just a good example is now with everybody on Instagram, they're models are posting whatever they like. Some models have websites. Now it's right now we're still in the world of OnlyFans. We're still, of well, Twitter, X, whatever it is. People can post whatever they want. That's so on and so forth. So when for me, what my question to you is that with all that available and kind of exactly what you were saying, does it make sense for somebody from the outside to sit there and state that the women that are modeling are being exploited?
I don't. I would say that if a spectator is coming into the community with giving us their third party opinion, I will welcome their opinion, and I can understand where they're coming from in regards to that. But nowadays, you can't tell who's modeling and who's a spectator because the spectators are also coming dressed like that too. So it's like you're going to start kicking out the spectators too. How can you differentiate the model from the spectator? You really can't. Nowadays you can. The way that this newer generation is evolving, they're evolving completely different from the older generation. And instead of the older generation trying to dismiss it, the older generation just needs to learn how to accept it and how to again go back to educating your kids, educating your family, educating the ones that you want so that they're raised differently and
Mhm.
they're looked differently, but you really can't change it. I go back to saying like the whole social media, phones, Twitter, X, all of that is already. I was walking in the bridge. I was walking on a bridge, and I
Mhm.
seen like naked stickers on the bridge with like Instagram and not to shake your head, but I mean
Yeah.
like you can't hide a kid from what's already here. You can't.
Yeah.
You're just making it more difficult for a child or for certain people. You're making it, if it's about the kids, you're making it difficult for the kids.
But so So what I heard out there, and one of the first things they went after Lowrider magazine. That's okay. And one of the things was is like, oh, somebody tried to say because they let kids 12 and under free that they were trying to purposely subjugate them to the women dressing like, let's just say, basically lingerie. Now that's a far reach for anything, and thing is that, so here's the next part. Who's responsible for the way models dress? Is it the promoter of the event or is it the photographer that books them there? Think
Suspect.
about that. Hmm?
Supposedly, from what I heard, is the spectators, is the people that are going and complaining about how these women are dressed. Um, I've seen like man, I've seen so many different reels with with different people posting the same reel, if I should say, and they all say the same thing. And I look at the comments, and you even have grown men commenting about how these women are showing up. And what
Mhm.
bothers me about that is looking at that is like some of these men that are commenting are the same ones that were throwing water when they were doing the wet t-shirt contest. You know, they're the main guys on stage with the phones. So it's like now now they're married. Let's just say that now they're married.
Mhm.
Now they have their own family, and now they want to place a restriction when it's been that way. It's always been that way. Me as a woman, it doesn't bother me to
Mhm.
walk by and see another woman. Certain women dress certain ways, you
Yeah.
know, and it doesn't intimidate me as a woman if
Mhm.
she feels comfortable and she feels sexy the way she is. I'm okay with what she has on. Now, if she's doing inappropriate things, if she's bringing inappropriate toys, okay, now, okay, girl, like now you're doing too much. Like this isn't the event for that. Like you
Yeah.
can come as you are, but and that also that applies to people who are fully dressed though too. You know,
Exactly.
like there's people who are fully dressed who do inappropriate things in front of children too. You don't think people tossing back beers can't teach the younger generation to fall under the alcohol addiction? Like we can't say that too. People are out there smoking weed. Are we going to restrict people from smoking weed too, even though it's legal in California?
Yeah.
Like there really shouldn't be a standard. I feel like they're dividing instead of us being united. They're starting to divide our community. Whoever is placing the standard is going to end up dividing our community, and eventually the shows are going to be in the streets for free.
Oh yeah. And then that's the big thing. What so like I said, there's no right or wrong on an opinion that I'm trying to get from the model's point of view. And that's why it's this series is gonna be called The Model's View. And one of the things that I would like to retouch on is that you're right. Everything we can't always protect anything. I mean, here's the easiest thing. Walk away, right? You're
Don't.
walking with your family, you see something, you turn around, you walk the other direction, right? I mean, and I've been there. We've been there at car shows, and what do we get? Oh, can you take a picture with my kid? You're the kid's little boy's 5 years old. You know what I mean? You squat down, take a picture. You're not bending over. You're not twerking. And for the most part, most people don't do that. But who is it that's usually the one that's asking you to take a picture with the kid?
The dads.
Yeah, but is it also the moms too?
Oh, the moms come up to me too. Yeah, the moms love me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean,
but
it
But the women pick and choose though. The women pick and choose who um who they find acceptable for the car shows and not. And a majority of the
exactly.
time are the women that they feel are like I don't know. It's hard to comment on certain things. I feel like I have to be walking on eggshells to say certain things without
Well,
like I said people coming for me.
Well, I understand that, and like I said, we're here. We're just giving an opinion that could, other people don't have the same opinion, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, um, I feel that they're using the models as a scapegoat, right or wrong. You know,
A scapegoat
they're
to what?
using they're using the models as just a way to like try to like screw up business for another.
Like
Uh,
regulate?
like no, well, they're using it as an excuse to like target a certain promoter. Basically, they're full of shit. They're just trying to use it as a way to try to screw up a business for a different promoter.
Mm,
And
I think
because the people that are complaining and making it a real big issue are competitors. And then now that same competitor has to regulate the models at his show because he opened his mouth to agree with someone else
Because that's
because
business.
they're going after a certain promoter.
Yeah, that's business.
Yeah.
They're trying
So,
to wipe someone out from the game. But
you're getting you're adding people that, like I said, do you feel that in this day and age with all the things that as a model you can do for yourself, you know, like I said, Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans, having your own website, whatever you do, whatever is available for any model to use, whether they use it or not, okay? To be sitting there and saying that the women that are at this show are being exploited, is that something that you feel is even like relevant?
I think it's relevant because, mind you, we're having this podcast and
Mm,
it's we're agreeing to disagree, but I think it's relevant. I think because it reverts back to the thing that I didn't like about the show is that sometimes a majority, not a majority, but there could be times where photographers have brought, and I even think that I heard that they brought someone under the age to taking pictures. So in a way, I can say yes. I can see how they can say some photographers are exploiting women. I can see that. I can understand
mm,
that. I get where they're coming from with that, and that does happen.
mm.
But to be able to try to regulate it at the show, that's kind of be kind of hard. If that's the case, then have people sign consent forms that they're over the age of 18 or over the age of 21.
Well, that's true. But once again, so now that goes back to my one point. So is it the responsible? Technically, is it the responsibility of the photographer or the promoter
It's
of
gonna
the
go to the
venue of the
promoter.
show?
It's
Well,
going
yeah,
to fall on the promoter because the promoter is the one promoting the show. And so
yeah.
I would assume that he's the one that's going to place the standard on the show.
So then it goes back to regulating what the models wear because that's placing a standard.
They can't they can't place a dress code because everything may not apply to every woman. This goes back to like high school, like where they're like, oh, if your arms, put your arms down and see how short your skirt. Bro, let me show you how short my skirt can be because of my height. My shorts can be this high, see, or
Yeah,
like this way, right? Versus a
yeah.
tall girl whose arms are like this. So I'm now showing cheeks, and the other girl's not able to. If you're gonna place it on arm length, it's like there's no way to regulate it. There's
No,
gonna
no.
be
But
girls showing cheeks. There's gonna be girls showing cleavage. There's gonna be teenage girls showing stomach. Like you can't regulate that. Like where do you draw the fine line
well, the
at?
fine line is with one of the
Skirts,
reasons why they have.
dresses.
Why do they have the press passes in the first place? In the whole, we go into like people complaining, oh, you got to pay this much money to have a press pass. So here's the thing: what I see is like, okay, some models will invite a certain photographer to come because they want that photographer to come with them because they need a
Mhm.
photographer. So they'll go to the
Right.
show and then they bring that photographer. And then it's vice versa. A lot of photographers, me speaking as a photographer, will will sit there and make arrangements to either bring a model to a show or meet a model there. There be there be like, but but the thing is the experience of a photographer, a good photographer, and this is just my opinion right here, a good photographer, knowing if he knows the venue and he knows the type of people that are going to be there, that he should be like, wear whatever you want basically, but no lingerie. How hard is that? Right? How
It's
hard is it to say
very
like basically you could go through see through everything, but just no lingerie type
all,
stuff and
all
so
you
on.
really gotta say it's a family event.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. No,
it. Girl,
you're
it's a
you're
family
100%
event.
right.
That's it.
That's right. No, you're absolutely correct. And most models with experience will say, "What kind of event is it?" So I know what to wear. It's
Yeah.
not that hard. But see, the
Right.
thing is some of the big shows in the past have been pretty much a free for all, right? I mean, that's fair. Some of the big events pretty much wear whatever you want. Now it becomes a thing, and now it's becoming they're for me, I just see that they're using the models as a scapegoat. They're using it as a way to put a certain promoter down, and now it's all regulate this, and now
But
all of a sudden it's like we don't want to exploit these women and this and
okay,
that.
but
It's
at
like,
the
dude,
same
you've been
time,
in this game for years and it's
but
never
at the
changed.
same time though, Rick, like what's wrong with just complying? as a
True that.
female.
Well,
Like
no,
as
no, you're right.
me as a female, I mean, when people gave me the word about what was going around to me, like that's
Mhm,
how I've always been dressing.
mhm,
That doesn't to me. I don't give the cookie out for free. Like if the only way you're gonna get me in a thong out there is if you pay me really good money.
mhm,
But other than that, like no, like that never bothered me because I will comply. With
mhm.
clothes on, I look good. Without clothes, I look good. So it don't hurt me to comply. If they want you to dress a certain way, especially for me as a model, if I'm getting hired for an event, they tell me to wear an Amish dress, I'm gonna wear it. Like why not?
But if that's what they're looking for, right? I
If
mean,
that's what
that's
they're
that's
yeah, if that's
that's
what
the
they want.
concept of being a model, right?
Mhm.
You're going for a certain look. And but see, that's the good thing, you know what I mean? Like so, like I said, for me, ultimately, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's about the individual, and I think that
Mhm.
that's the catch, right? Because especially in the lowrider scene, we're all individuals. We're all standing out from the crowd. We're trying to make take to the next level.
Right.
So with all this being said, what is one thing you wish you knew from in the beginning of your modeling career? One thing that
What
you could tell yourself that would made a difference for you, you think, that you
for
know now?
me? Dang, for me, I would have told baby Ruth, I would have told her to go dressed as you are, whatever you feel comfortable in. You know, enjoy the see. But for me, it was different though because in my 20s, I didn't dress in thongs. I didn't start dressing like this till I became a woman. Till I was in my 30s. You know, like beginning 30s. Like I didn't start dressing like this till I was in my 30s. I I feel like I matured slowly, but there's a lot of girls that are extremely young that are dressing a certain way, and like that's fine,
Mm,
but just understand what you're going out there against, And, like a lot of the girls feel that they have to dress a certain way to get to a certain place, but you don't. It's in your character, it's in your personality, it's who you are inside. It's like if you allow what you think the standard is in the community to define who you are as a model, then you're wrong because
mhm,
you're not going to be happy trying to think that you have to mold yourself into this type of woman to get the type of clout that you think you want or get. Like you don't. So to tell my younger version self, my younger version model, is just to dress the way you want to dress. Don't allow the photographers to tell you what to wear. And if you do get an opinion from a photographer, because I've gotten an opinion from you before when I'm like, oh, well, what do you think I should wear for this event? And you gave me a beautiful, classy look. Like, that's
mhm,
obviously comfortable. That makes me feel like this photographer really does want to capture a great shot, and
mhm.
not something that he's going to make money off of. And then
Well, it's attention.
I will also let them know too, like the younger version too, like don't show it off for free. Like why? Like not for free. If
No, you're right.
you go out there as yourself, and whatever you have, sell it privately. Your worth and your value is worth so much more than free. I would
Yeah,
never give it for
or
free.
don't. Yeah, right? Or don't, right?
Or don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, or don't. You don't have to.
So I'm gonna rewind us way back, okay?
Oh
So
shoot.
when I first met Ruthie back in the day, around I don't want to date you.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
please don't.
Okay.
Please don't.
So anyways, you stopped modeling for almost what, 10 years basically?
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah, 10 good years.
You still have a great look. I've had to correct some people in the last couple of years because they thought you were like 19 years old and
Oh man, people
too
think
young
I'm
to be
younger than what I
wearing this
am.
or that. You remember that one time? And I'm
No,
like,
but
she's grown, like grown, like, and now,
it's my height. It's because I'm small and petite.
yeah, but you still have the youth. You
No,
look
thank
great,
you.
you know.
You.
But I was a fan. This was before I was a photographer when I met Ruthie, and I was one of the guys to take pictures of all the models, and I had it on my MySpace.
You had the flip
And
phone.
yep, I had a flip phone, and we had all the car shows and everything, and so I remember they had like a bikini contest on at one show, and I got to give it to you. At the time, you just went up there, you did your little twirl thing and whatever, and
In a
then
skirt.
in a
In a
skirt,
skirt.
but you didn't go crazy. You just
No.
there, and then the other girls that were up there,
No.
they were straight up,
They look beautiful
working,
too.
and I mean,
They
there's nothing wrong. But I know that you were more conservative, and like the point that you made is that now you're a grown woman,
mhm.
and now you make your decisions based on your experience.
Yes. Yeah,
And
back then I was in my 20s. I was like, I didn't want to do all. I knew no, scratch that. I knew I didn't have to do all that. I
mhm,
knew I didn't have to do all that to get where I wanted to get to. But at the same time, I respected them too. Not everyone is fortunate, not everyone is blessed, to have the guidance that I had with my parents. I can say my parents raised me well, rather they're
mhm,
happy with the choices that I make in life or not. They
mhm,
definitely raised me well, and I didn't want to start the sexy side of me until I was mature enough. And so sometimes, and even now, I get people like, "You're too old to be doing that." And my response is, "I'm for the mature audience. I'm not for the youngsters." Even on my page, on my Instagram, I set an age cap. Like, I don't let anyone under the age of 18 follow me. That's just me. That's me personally.
mhm.
That's what I'm comfortable with. I'm not ready for that the younger generation to see me. So, but other than that, like, yeah, just set a standard for yourself. I wanted to, though. I wanted to be out there in a bikini, but I knew that my body wasn't developed all the way yet. I still knew I was young.
And after you did the car shows, I think the last time we did it like a live. And one thing I did not know, but now I'm bringing it up again because we're doing this one. You even competed in like a what is it like a
Bodybuilding.
bodybuilding.
That's that's another topic I wanted to talk about. Let me
Mhm.
close my water cap.
Yeah.
So for me to go out there in a bikini, this is me showing progress. I got
Mhm.
six shoot. Where's my medal at? Just so I could bust out with it. I think it's upstairs, and I'm not gonna run up there and get it. I should have had it, but I won sixth place in a bikini bodying competition that I prepped
Mhm.
a whole year for. I was on a strict diet. I had to work out every freaking day. I ate like a rabbit. Like all of that took dedication, time, passion. So to go out there at the age that I'm at and to walk around proud in what I build my body to look
Mhm.
like, of course I'm gonna go out there. And regardless of what women say or don't say, like I worked hard to look this good. I
Yeah.
took care of myself. I was drug free, drank a lot of water, took my vitamins. I should be I'm comfortable and confident to go out there like that without worrying about what people say. So for people to try to regulate again on what certain people should wear is ridiculous. Some people like some women look they're like bro like they just got their bodies done and they've been moms for so many years. They want to go out there and just enjoy themselves. Like what's wrong with that?
Well,
Like
that's
there's
true.
nothing wrong with that.
Oh, because I mean, I have really seen, and not just the women that get their bodies done, but the women that put a lot of work into their bodies. Their kids
Yeah.
have gotten older, so now they have the actual time to work out. Now they have actual time to hit the gym and eat better and everything else. Their kids are old enough to take care of themselves for the most part, and then they're the women. Some of the older women are way beautiful compared to some of
And
these
they look
youngsters.
younger. And they look younger too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's a real thing because I see that in just everyday life. And then another thing, one of the things I was just thinking about too, because what you were saying, like anybody could be out there acting one way or the other. There's a lot of models that get found just because they went to a car show. They weren't even
mhm,
modeling. They're just
yeah.
there.
They're just
And
spectators.
there is a lot of beautiful women.
Mhm.
They go to these car shows and they may be married with their significant
Mhm.
other, or they're just going with friends. And sometimes they're just dressed in jeans and whatever, and they look great.
Yeah,
And
and they still get looked at a certain way. Like the backlash that women get in general is hard. It's hard to go out there as a model when you know that people are throwing stones behind closed doors, when people are threatening you on Instagram, or when another bad experience I have is women confronting me because they think I'm sending their boyfriends pictures when they're screenshotting it from my pages. And it's like, like, I've almost gotten beat up a couple of times. I'm like, I'm not fighting for nobody's man.
Well, that's exactly that, and that's the thing. There's a lot of jealousy involved, and you guys, like I said, as a model, you're a target because, and this is where I'm trying to get at with this whole podcast is that you have your view. You either have common sense or you have knowledge. You don't. You have if you have the right photographers, they're going to guide you the right way, and the promoters. Well, like I said, they just turn this on the models as a way of trying to, I don't know, delegitimize or going after different promoters. And I
I feel
think
like I feel like a lot of the men are taking that so harsh. You're like not the only guy that said that already about, like, why do they gotta like tread it like attack the girls? Like a lot of the guys that go, including the married men, like they go to see the women too. Like
there's
that's
nothing wrong
part
with
of
looking.
that's part of life. Well, to some married women, there is a problem looking. But
Yeah,
my
no,
thing is,
sure,
is
sure.
like, don't attack the females, attack the person looking.
Yeah,
You know?
it's a responsibility of the men that enjoy the models to do it with class, respect.
hmm And not only that, to turn the other cheek if there's a woman dressed in a more seductive way too.
No
Like,
pun intended.
like pluck your own eye out. Like, don't sit here and tell a woman to leave. Like, it's really it's a question you have to ask yourself, and it doesn't just apply to men though, it applies to women too. What really bothers you about this model? Is it
Mhm.
because she's does take care of herself and you're too lazy to do it, or you're not ready to make that commitment, I should say? Or is it because she's beautiful? Like, to me, I admire other
Mhm.
women, other models' beauty. Like, I personally see the beauty in every model. Is if it's their smile, their personality, their character, like whatever it is. You can't hide a woman's beauty. You could cover her up as much as
Mhm.
you want. You can never hide her beauty. Once she starts talking, you're gonna
Mhm.
already see her beauty. Like, you
Exactly.
can't do that. The most that like we go back to what I was saying. Like, the most you could do is educate yourself as a woman, educate your kids, educate your boyfriend. Have that honest conversation with him and tell him, hey, it really makes me feel like shit when you look at girls, or it really makes me insecure. Like, I know it's not you, it's me. It's something I need to work
Mhm.
on myself. But as I'm working on it, like, help me out.
Yeah.
Like, it's just educating. It's like talking to your significant other. If he doesn't make those changes, then girl, you got to make those changes yourself.
Well, some people like the toxic stuff. You know what I mean?
Some
Like
people
all
like
the
the toxic.
drama and everything. And I mean, I'll be the first one to sit there and go
Like,
like,
you like the toxic stuff.
no, I can't. I did all that already, that's the whole thing. Like I'm the first person to go sit there and if I'm in a relationship and she's worried about a beautiful model, I'm gonna be, you know what? Thank you for even thinking that I had a chance.
Huh. Well, you
I'm like,
really do. You
you
really
have
do. Guys really do. Guys really do. Like, when I started modeling, I'm going to keep it 100. It was because my boyfriend, or yeah, my boyfriend at the time was buying that, and it was starting to make me feel like shit. So to prove a point to him that he can get with any of those models, I'm like, I'm going to show you I can. I watch. I promise, like, it's
Mhm.
not hard to get into, like, into Lowrider magazine or any of that. And to
Yeah.
prove a point to him, I did what I did. And now, in the midst of it, in the midst of the bodybuilding and midst of the working out and all of that, I finally decided and finally found who I really am and feel
Yeah.
comfortable. And that's why I'm able to open up and take the pictures that I do without caring
Mhm.
about what people say. It's just about, she was about growing, really.
And you were also in. We were just talking about this because you just posted the pictures on your Facebook, I think. But you, once you did get into Lowrider
I
magazine,
did. I quit.
yeah, you
Yeah, I was a woman of my word. I told him, once I do it, like, I'm done. I'm only doing it to prove a point. And I did. I quit. And then that's when I felt like a lot more opportunities were opening up for me. But I had to be a woman of my word and quit.
Yeah, but now
I
you're
need
back. You've been
now
back. So, um, how's everything over there in Atlanta?
Atlanta's great. For those of you that don't know, I currently live in Atlanta because I know a lot of people still think I live in the West, but I don't. Atlanta's great. New opportunities are opening for me out here. I'm learning a lot. I'm trying to take in a lot so that
Mm.
I can build, I don't want to say rebuild my brand, but revamp myself, to try to give myself a different
Mhm.
image, a different look, try out new things, new experiences that I can bring with me wherever I go in the industry, just making myself open to all different types of opportunities for me. But
Yeah.
I'm still pushing it. So
So,
keep
any
positivity.
what are your next shows that you're going to be
My
attending?
next show is the Crazy Vato show that is in June.
Hmm.
I'm going to be modeling there. They also sent me some photos of what they would like to see me in as well.
Hmm.
And that's not a problem.
Nice.
I don't mind getting dressed up. To me, like I said, I look better with clothes on than I do with clothes off.
Yeah.
So that's my next event. After that, I'm supposed to be doing the San Jose Impala's magazine show. You're going to
August
that one,
24th.
right?
I will be there.
Yes, yes, in August. I'm supposed to be going to that, but I don't know. I need to
Okay.
hear back from Mark and his wife.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. That's a busy weekend. They're also doing like a hop the day after King of the Streets, and
Are
they're going
they?
to do a San Jose King of the Streets, and they're doing it the day after Mark's show, and it's going to be right there next to the Shark Tank or the SAP Center.
I'm
So
surprised he's bringing me out to the San Jose. I wanted him to bring me out to Stockton, but okay.
uh, San Jose is going to be all indoor, and it's going to be the first one in a long time. So I definitely say that the San Jose is going to be an optimal
Will be
event.
beneficial.
Yeah, you won't be out. Stockton was good, but it was warm, but it was like I'm still getting used to the heat. I got two shows this weekend. One of them's gonna be in Bakersfield, and one's in
Bakersfield
San
is good
Jose.
for you.
Huh?
The South is good for you.
Yeah, and Bakersfield. Well, I go to this one every year as much as possible, and it's hot.
You didn't
Bakersfield's
do
hot.
the park. What is it? That park in is it in San Diego or LA?
No, 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 no. This one is So it used to be at the Kern County Museum, but they moved it to the Kern County Fairgrounds because they outgrew the museum. And
Who
then
who throws the event?
Aztec Image is their car club. They do their own
Oh,
big
okay.
show. Yeah.
I know who asked
So
you.
yeah, so that's a good event, and so I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to do that this Sunday. There's a local show here in San Jose on Saturday, and I'll be on that. And I don't know. I think hopefully I'll have this posted before then. My goal is to start posting these podcasts by Friday, and you're the first one that I've interviewed. I have another interview. Uh, I have I have almost 10 models to interview for
Can you
this.
give us the lineup?
I will once we're all recorded. Okay,
Can you give it to me after the podcast?
I could. There's some people, and then I'm waiting for somebody very experienced to
Oh,
get
very
back to me.
experienced. The most
Very
experienced.
probably the yeah. I'm waiting. She said yes. Just got to put together a time and day.
I believe you.
So
She'll do it.
but yeah, I want to keep it simple right now, and then by next week we'll have all these episodes up and running. I'm really looking forward to this, and one of my the series after the models is I'm trying to get some photographers up.
I saw that. I saw that
Yeah,
on your page.
yeah. So it's
What do they have to look forward to on that podcast about how dramatic the models can be?
oh wow, we, we
Unprof-
can we can we can do we could
unprofessional.
do a whole different type of
They're
series with
always
that one.
late.
They're always late,
I'm not
almost
always
every
late. I'm
time.
on time. I think I'm on
Mhm.
time. Yeah, I'm on time.
I don't know, yeah, barely.
No, I'm on time. I'm professional.
So if you subscribe to my podcast, this is the second series, and the third series will be with photographers, and we'll be talking about a similar subject. So just in general, I want to get their opinion because I in a lot of things for me, and as a photographer, it's my responsibility to make sure that the models are, seen in a positive light.
Mhm.
But I also meet every model, and my thing is I meet halfway. A lot of models, like you said in the beginning, are told what to wear. Here, wear this little fucking thong, this and that.
Right.
I've always been like, what do you want to model in? I want to go pinup, Rick. Okay, let's do pinup. Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta wear this. Okay, that's fine. Or what the vent? You know what? Wear the vent. Even the new models for me, my biggest thing would be like, I don't know what to wear. This is all new for me. Okay, so we're gonna go practice, and we're gonna go to like a barbecue, and we're gonna go to a little car show. It's gonna be at a park, and I want you to dress like you're at going to a barbecue where there is a guy you like there, right?
Okay, that
You're
works.
gonna dress as you're gonna go there because the guy you like is there. Okay, so think about that because now you're not gonna be overdone. You're not gonna be underdone. You know,
Yeah.
so and that's usually when I'm shoot the first time I shoot with a model, and then especially if they're brand new to all this, that's where I'm at. Let's go here, and then whatever you're comfortable with. I mean, in general, it's like another thing that I'm trying to teach the models and for myself, and even I want to talk to other photographers about it, is that when you go to the shows, it's kind of like, so what people don't understand is like say the winning car that wins the best paint, right?
Mhm.
That benefits the person that painted the car. He got paid how much money to paint the car, but it still benefits him because now he goes, yeah, the guy bought the car, he paid me to paint it, but it won first place at this show. My paint job
Right.
won, right? So when you go to these shows to be seen, right? As a model, you're seen at the show. People start following you on Instagram. They go, hey, what's your Instagram account? Blah blah blah. Then they go, oh, I want to buy a shirt with you on it. I want to buy a print with you. I want to get a poster, whatever it may be, right? You go to the show to be seen. If you want to do very specific photo shoots and wear whatever you like, then go do a photo shoot. That's a private photo shoot,
Mhm.
right? So, I mean, there's a way to get around all that because
There's a way of marketing.
exactly.
Mhm.
The shows are for marketing. They're marketing.
For,
I'm brand myself so everybody
mhm.
can see this when I'm taking pictures of you.
Right. Right.
Now, I know for a fact they don't care about me. They care about you. But if they want to see the pictures I took, guess where they go look? Here. And then this takes them to you. So it
Mhm.
takes them to me, takes them to you. We both benefit.
Right.
That's how it works. The shows are to be seen.
Well,
It's
for
a
those who
show.
are going that with a hustling mentality, yes.
Mm,
But for girls who are just doing it because they want attention or, because they feel good, then yeah, those are the types of girls that they need to be reaching out to. Those are the ones that they need to place, and those are the spectator girls. And
mm,
I'm not saying like what they're doing is wrong. Like I'd laugh with them. Shoot,
mm.
like it looks like it's funny to me, but for them to be behaving a certain way at the show, like I don't think they understand the rules of the show, or
Mhm.
I feel like they would do better.
Yeah, and there's also some shows, well, they try to keep it to there is no rules, but that's also the photographer egging people on.
Yeah, yeah, I've
Like,
been to
you know,
shows where there's no rules too,
they
or
bring
even like,
porn star to the show to model, and then it just gets crazy.
or even to
Seen
like
that.
the Obsession show that you went to. Was it this year or last year?
Which one?
The Obsession show out here in Atlanta. Was
Oh,
it
the
this
session
year or
was
last
great.
year?
That was last October.
Was it? Dang, it's been so
You
long.
got
Okay,
me
well,
out. You,
I
you
know,
got
huh?
me
But
out
even
there.
but even last year, like the girls were dressed, in a cute way,
Mm,
But at the same time, they did a little twerk here and there, just to rile up like the crowd, but it wasn't anything inappropriate. I feel like in a way a female can dress a certain way and still tease at the same time if they really want to get that
absolutely.
attention if they want to, but Yeah. You know what's crazy is the picture that's floating around on Instagram and Facebook and stuff about the person, the girl that they supposedly banned. I've
Mhm.
seen girls in that same different color outfit as her.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting tired of that outfit though. But I'm like, but for reals, because everybody be
Like,
wearing that
wait.
shit, that
I'm
that
so
Fashion
I've even
Nova.
taken a picture in an outfit like that before. I'm like, what's wrong with the outfit? And they're like,
No,
I guess she didn't have underwear. Just no way this girl did not come with no.
no. You
I
know
know
what?
she did
Let's
not
just.
come with no chonies.
You know what? I mean, here's the thing. That the reality is the guidance is dress your body type. And
That's not true.
but but but
Guys wear
but hear
small
me out. Hear me
skirts
out.
when they're big dudes,
I
and
don't. Yeah,
sometimes skinny guys wear
it's
big
not.
old t-shirts.
I preach that even from for grown ass dudes. Okay, because come on now, you grew out that shirt like 5 years ago. We don't want to see your belly button. I don't give a shit.
We need to poo. We need to poo.
But exactly. But that's the whole thing. I think that outfit's played out already. But in general, if done right and everything else, it's also the person. Is she was she drinking? Was she just or is that just her personality? It's the
Or
style she is.
maybe she could
It's not.
also just be a stripper though too.
No,
You know,
no,
some
that's
girls are
right.
really out there. Some of the car clubs, like let's just be honest though too, some of the car clubs bring certain types of girls out to their shows too, dressed in their car club attire. And none of the photographers brought them. They had nothing to do with the community. These are just girls that they got off
Hmm.
sites, social media, web pages, and they're the ones who also bring those types of females to the shows too. Why? Because they want their car club to be known for having
Yeah,
these
they
types
want
of models.
attention to
But at
their
the same
vehicle, their
time,
car.
instead of reprimanding the models that are well known in the community, why not start citing or like start citing certain car clubs, having them pay more every year until they get the point not to bring those types of people. Like
Well,
there's other ways they could go around it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, once again, having the open conversation of really why what's really going on. Like I said, nobody complained before. Now all of a sudden they want to outshine this promoter, that promoter, and saying that because they allow women to do that, that they're bad, and it's bull. I think it's all bullshit. I think that they're just utilizing the whole thing. I think that it's a scapegoat, and I think that we all have a great point. It's when it comes down to ultimately common sense, respect for yourself.
Sense isn't
And
common.
no,
But
exactly. But at
but
least
even if
guidance, somebody to
even,
guide them.
even if certain promoters, like let's just say they stop. Okay,
They turn only pin up.
let's say Pinches Lowriders throw shows with girls that are allowed to come as they are, right?
Mhm,
And let's say Ruthie Skye shows are only for conservative females, right?
mhm,
Once your models start dressing conservatively and start coming to the show because they're gonna get in, they're still
mhm.
gonna get hated on, even with clothes. I can sit here, I can sit here and go covered up to a
Oh,
show, Rick, and still get drama.
I
Still
love
get
your point.
drama.
I love your
Yeah,
point.
that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So to try to sit there and say it's the women or the married women that are complaining, I don't think it's the women that are complaining. I don't because women know, like
I just it's not just the women that are complaining. And one of my things is that there's an ulterior motive. It's not
okay,
even that.
I can see that.
Okay.
If that's the case and the women start clothing up, what's gonna be the next ulterior motive? What's gonna be their next motive then? Or whomever's next motive.
They're
If
promoting
that's the
gangs.
case.
They're gonna be like,
If
they're
that's the
promoting
case.
gangs. They're dressing
Beer,
up. No more
beer,
tattoos.
beer.
Oh, you can't take the beer away. Those shows don't do good at all.
Well, they are. They're bringing Monster energy drinks now.
Well, yeah.
So they're taking away beer and they're adding Monster energy drink, which is a good thing. But then they're gonna start restricting weed too. See, there's so much stuff they could restrict. They could restrict gang-related rappers that are talking about drugs and weed and stuff like that. Like you're gonna basically take out the whole shows. What's next? Like the girls that are naked on the cars are not allowed to enter because
Oh,
it's
the cars with the murals of the girls that
That's
are
what I'm
naked,
saying
right?
because
Yeah,
it's promoting nudity. Like now
yeah,
they're not like, come on, like how low are we gonna get? Like there's just no way.
that's
There's
right.
no
So,
way.
you thank you very much. None of you are shit. I mean, at the end of the day, that's exactly it. Like you can complain all you want. but you're diving down a rabbit hole that's only going to start something else, something else, and something
Hmm.
else. I've said this, I've been saying this for years. Low riding is not politically correct. Stop trying to make it politically correct. We became lowriders. People did these things to their cars to be against the system. Okay, and I have friends that have pictures from the 70s and 60s, and you still have pictures, even if it's at a picnic at a car club get together or gathering, as they called it back then. You still have women in little shorts with bikini tops, black and white photos,
Hmm.
Polaroids, stuff like that.
Bikini
It's
skirts,
still
the tight
there.
bikini
Yes,
skirts, and the
it's
suede black
always
boots.
been there. It's always been there. It's always been
Yeah, they can't restrict. That's what I'm saying. And then what's next? They're gonna have them start wearing like, what do you call it? Those slips underneath your dresses because now the dresses are falling in the crack of your nalgas. Like,
But I mean that goes back to history, right? Before there used to be if a woman showed their ankle, they
yeah.
were promiscuous.
I
I
don't think it
mean,
has to do with the models though. I don't know
no,
what's going on. I don't want to know what's going on. I'm here to talk about the model subject. I don't think it has to do with the models. I
no,
do feel like there's a certain way women should go to shows, whether you're a spectator or a model,
yeah.
just because if it's a family event, like if you're going to a nightclub, dress like you're going to a nightclub.
So before we end this, couple of questions that you would ask a photographer for an event you've never been to.
Mm, what type of event is this going to be?
Mhm.
That's my first question. Um, What else? How much am I getting paid for it? And how long do I have to be there? That's
Valid.
it. Just I don't need to know how to dress. I have common sense. I know how to dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Just business questions. Where is the event going to be held at? That's it. How much am I getting paid? How long do I need to be there?
Hmm.
That's it.
Nice.
Of event. Yeah. But I could go to any event though. I haven't been banned. I hope I don't get banned for coming on this podcast.
Nah.
I'll be like, send Rick the bill.
Oh God. I've already been told the invites that I've done. There's already saying thank you for even giving us a voice or an opportunity to do this. So
Oh, that's good.
you know, like I said, I just want to hear the opinion, and then we walked around everything on the subject, and we have a broad, perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, but ultimately, is it something that's really about the models? Is it really about the models?
Yeah, that's your motto. Is it really about the models?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. I can't wait to hear everyone else's podcasts and their opinions on it. It's going to be a very interesting topic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they don't
Well,
get to watch this podcast first, right? You're going to immediately interview them next.
yeah, no one's gonna see any of the podcasts, and then when I'm done with the interviews, then I'll start putting them up. So,
All right. Well, I'm excited to see the rest.
all right. Well, thank you for coming on and for your time. I know I had a little difficulty, but we figured it out, and yeah, we made almost an hour here, and it's been a pleasure. It's always good seeing
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, people out there, for your support and your love. I appreciate you
And
guys.
then once again, um, Ruthie Skye on Instagram. You just Google Ruthie Skye. She has a Facebook, Instagram.
Don't Google me. Just go to my Instagram account. That's the most relevant, the most current, up to date
Yeah, you
info you're
post
gonna
you post
have.
about every day. I think
I try
almost.
to. I
Yeah.
try to stay on the gram.
Okay, so yeah, Instagram. It's on the bottom of the screen right here, and I will when I put this video up, I will put the link for her Instagram in the bio.
Pinche's Lowriders.